The foghorn just sounded, and something out in the gray sounded back, not an echo. An echo comes a half-second late and a little quieter. This came back at the same volume, at the same instant, in the same pitch. You're standing in the lantern room of Carrick Head Light, 91 feet above the water, and in 40 years you have never heard the fog answer before. You wait for the next blast. 30 seconds. The diaphone fires its low note into the white, and the white fires it back. You know this place better than your own hands. Carrick Head Light, 11 nautical miles off the northern coast. Automated decades ago, but never trusted to run alone. That's why you're here. Principal keeper. The only living thing on a rock the sea forgot. The routine never changes. You wind the rotation gear at the top of every hour. You log the visibility. You check that the Fresnel lens is clean, the lamp is lit, the beam is turning. One white flash every 10 seconds. The characteristic that tells every ship within 19 miles exactly which light they're looking at. Except no ship has looked at it in a very long time. Because the fog has not lifted in 40 years. And tonight, for the first time, you notice the logbook is full. You open it to find the next blank line. There isn't one. Every page, every column, every entry slot, filled. The same neat columns, date, time, visibility, lamp status. Visibility, 0. Visibility, 0. Visibility, 0. For 40 years. Probably the last keeper kept it meticulous. Probably you just never reached the end before. You tell yourself that. But the handwriting in the very first entry, dated 40 years ago to this night, is yours. The same lean in the letters. The same way you cross your sevens, you step back. The lamp turns above you, throwing its white blade through the window, and for one rotation, in the wet glass, you don't see your reflection. You wait for the beam to come around again. There you are. Of course there you are. The cold plays tricks at this height. The glass is old. The foghorn sounds. The fog sounds back. And this time it is a fraction early. You climb down to the watchroom and put the kettle on, because that is what you do, because the ritual is the only floor under your feet right now. The water never quite boils. You've stopped waiting for it. You radio the shore station on channel 16. You give your call sign. You say the words you've said 10,000 nights. Carrick Head Light, requesting weather. Over. The reply comes back instantly, before you've lifted your thumb from the transmit key. Carrick Head Light, requesting weather. Over. Your own voice, your own words. Flat, patient, waiting for you to answer yourself. You set the handset down very gently, the way you'd set down something that might wake. The foghorn fires. You count the seconds to the answer, and there is no answer. Silence. The gray just swallows the note and keeps it. You'd been relying on that answer to know you're still here. Now it's gone, and the quiet is enormous, and it presses on your ears like depth. You go up to clean the lens, because a dirty lens is a thing you can fix. The brass rail of the spiral stair is worn smooth under your palm. 40 years of one hand. Your hand. You've never had another keeper to share the watch. Through the gallery window the beam sweeps the fog, and in the wall of white it lights up something it shouldn't. A shape. Tall, narrow, the rough outline of a man, standing on the water 19 feet out, where there is no rock and no boat and no floor. The beam moves on. 10 seconds. It comes back. The shape is closer. You don't run. There's nowhere on a rock to run. You just watch the light come around again, and it's at the base of the tower now, looking up, and it has the same lean in its shoulders that you have. The lamp flickers. Once. In 40 years the lamp has never flickered, because if the lamp dies, the ships die, and you would rather die first. That is the whole law of this place. The one thing a keeper exists to prevent. You move to the lamp. It steadies. It waits. You understand now why the logbook is full. You didn't inherit this watch. You never arrived by boat. There was no first day. The foghorn sounds. You don't flinch anymore. You go to the lamp and you look down through the lens, 91 feet, into the fog, and the fog is not weather. It never was. It's the thing the light has been holding back. One white flash every 10 seconds, for 40 years, keeping it pressed flat against the water. Every rotation buys 10 more seconds. That is the job. That has always been the job. You finally look at the shape at the base of the tower. It is climbing. The seventh rung of the access ladder creaks. You know it's the seventh because it's the rung that always creaks. The one under your own boot every single night. It is you. Coming up. The way you came up 40 years ago. The lamp turns. The beam holds the fog. 10 seconds. Hold. 10 seconds. Hold. You think, I only have to keep the light turning. That's all. Keep it turning, and the gray stays down, and the thing on the stair stays a shape and never a face. Your hand is on the rotation gear. It's slowing. Your arm is tired in a way. 40 years explains. The flash stretches. 11 seconds now, 12, and in the extra second of dark, the fog leans up against the glass like a tide testing a wall. You wind the gear. The flash snaps back to 10. The gray drops. The shape on the stair stops. You will not stop winding. You cannot. There is no one to take the watch. When the hour turns, you go down to log it, because the log must be kept, because that is also the law. You open the book to find the next blank line. There isn't one. Every slot is full, the same neat columns, the same crossed sevens, 40 years deep, so you do what you always do. You turn to the very first page, to the entry dated 40 years ago to this night, and you lift your pen to write over it. Date, time, visibility, 0. Lamp status, lit. The ink goes down exactly inside the strokes already there. A perfect fit. Of course it fits. You wrote it the first time too. Above you the lamp turns. One white flash every 10 seconds. Hold. 10 seconds. Hold. The foghorn sounds into the gray, and out in the fog, 11 nautical miles from a coast no ship has reached in 40 years, something sounds back. At the same volume, at the same instant, in the same pitch. You set down the pen. You climb the spiral stair, one hand on the worn brass rail. The seventh rung creaks under your boot. You have just arrived. It is your first night. The fog has not lifted in 40 years.